Alright, good morning and welcome to day 175 on the AT. My name is Mosey and this is Rissaroams. Just got dropped off by Jen back at Flume Visitor Center, taking the bike trail back up to the AT, where I will begin my journey for the day. So a lot of people will slack pack this section. The Kinsmans, the Notch, and Old Colony do it. But it's 17 miles and it's like 5,000 feet of elevation gain and loss. And I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. So we're splitting it into 2 days. We're gonna go 10 miles, a little less than that, to Eliza Brook shelter. And then we'll have like 7 into town tomorrow. So a bit of a Nero where I can actually get some chores done. And so that's the plan. I'll go back to Old Colony tomorrow night, and then I may discuss slack pack options over Musalaki, however you say it, just so I can do some slack packing in the whites. Yeah, so we're nearing the end of the whites, man. Pretty exciting stuff. Also, haven't sang on here in a while. Sorry about that for those of you who enjoy it, but just haven't felt like pulling out the camera when I have been. But a few earworms that have been stuck in my head. When I was at Zealand Falls Hut, they were listening to Lady Gaga while they cleaned. So paparazzi has been stuck in my head for a few days now. I would like it to leave. I've also had feeling good stuck in my head. So it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, and I'm feeling good. And then just now, Beach Boys, wouldn't it be nice if we were older? Yeah, that's it. This has been the trail for the last, I don't know, half of a mile. And it looks like it has no sign of stopping. For a while there, it was like we were just walking in a creek, so there's water flowing between these two. Wild. Alright, just made a stop at Lonesome Lake Hut, my last hut of the whites. Unfortunately, so I just got my little through hiker card while I was at Garfield tent site because there was no caretaker at IMP, so I couldn't get my card.
For reference, if you don't know, as a through hiker, when you stay at your first paid tent site in the whites, it's $10 for a through hiker card. From there on, all other tent sites that you decide to stay at are $5. You also get a discount on AMC merchandise. Not that anyone who's through hiking is buying souvenirs, but that is something that you can take advantage of if you choose to. You also get free soup and 2 free baked goods. So that's what I'm referring to.
So I was really hoping to cash in and get my soup and my baked goods, but they did not have any soup available, so that was sad. But I did get 2 pieces of cake, ate one there, packed one out. It's chocolate Earl Grey, which I love Earl Grey, and most of the time when people do chocolate and Earl Grey desserts, the chocolate overpowers the flavor. The Earl Grey, not in this cake. They did a great job. So yeah, got a cup of coffee instead of my bowl of soup. Not quite equivalent, but we'll take it. So with that, I guess let's wrap up my white hut experience. I've taken full advantage of the huts and for the most part loved my experience at them. I'll say I think my favorite hut was my first one, Carter Notch was great. The crew there was fantastic. Yeah, I had a great first day. And I'll say everyone's individual experience will be different, and every year will be different because every year we'll have different crews. But loved Carter Notch, and then followed that with my experience in Madison Springs, which is very different because I paid to stay there, but I had a great time. The crew there was also fantastic. I met some awesome people staying there. The food was so good, but the beds were really uncomfortable, and I would have rather slept on my sleeping pad. But still one of my favorite hut experiences. Mizpah wasn't my favorite, but did love that morning wake-up song. That was wonderful. But not a bad time, just not the best time. Let's see. I did not go to Lake of the Clouds. I had just left Mount Washington and was full up on food and water, so didn't really see the need to stop. Let's see. Galehead was fine. My favorite thing there, actually the bathrooms were super nice. Each one had its own like little toilet room with a light. Mizpah didn't even have lights in the bathroom, so that was nice. But the coffee there was ice cold, and they only had half a cup, so that was sad. Zealand was good, except they made me pay for pancakes that were left over, which seemed kind of wrong. I didn't go to Greenleaf because your girl was not going 1 mile off trail and then coming back. And so then wrapped it up just now with Lonesome Lake. Fantastic cake, no soup. So there's my hut wrap up for this year. All right, just stopped for a brief break on that log right there. Figured I would have a quick lunch because I'll get hungry on this climb if I didn't have something other than that piece of cake. All right, 1.5 miles, 1,500 feet, starting the climb up North Kinsman. And then, of course, we'll do South Kinsman, and then the descent to the shelter. Should make pretty good time today. I know we're just getting started, but so far this climb hasn't been too terrible. There's been a ladder, rock steps, and a lot of the rocks have this like carved into them, so there's a place for you to step, which is really nice, honestly. I will say though, these still kind of freak me out. Like, how secure are you? I'm sure they're bolted in there some way, but it just seems sketchy. Also, can I just say, I don't understand how no one in these mountains uses poles. I would be so dead without them, but no one's using them. That is the biggest blaze I have ever seen. View of North Kinsman. Absolutely gorgeous. So, a thing that's been on my mind a lot the last few days is after the AT. I am not looking forward to rejoining society, and I don't know what is next. But it's hard for me to imagine going back to normal life. Yeah. You know, Cody, aka Trash Panda, at the hostel in Millinocket, told me, we discussed this, you know, the AT, it ruins your life, but in a good way. You just don't know how Yeah, you don't know how to go back to normal. You're always going to want to be a part of this community. I guess we'll see what happens. So I just got to thinking, I find it kind of funny. When I was complaining about Virginia, there were people saying, if you can't do Virginia, how do you think you're going to do Pennsylvania and the whites? Well, I think my two favorite states so far are Pennsylvania and New Hampshire. So, guess I showed them. Well, that was cool. I just ran into Little John, who was a ridge runner that I met in Pennsylvania. He works on trail crew up here, but actually just broke his hand or wrist or something, and is now just scouting the trail, not doing work at the moment. But cool catching up with him, so that was cool. So the climb up the Kinsmans Sobo was pretty chill. Barely used my hands at all. The descent is a different story. Very sketchy. Still probably not the most sketchy, but glad it's not raining right now. Hope it stays that way. Okay, so this might be my sketchiest descent. It's not anything really crazier than what I've already done, but I feel like I've had to butt scoot a bit more, and I feel like I have been more at risk for re-injuring my ankle on this descent than others for whatever reason. Just the way I'm having to slide and land and twist, I'm moving very slow, but that's fine. We got plenty of time.